Dorothy Regent is the prisoner of a native tribe in the heart of the Malay jungle, accused of killing a temple priest. For some strange reason, Chandler's magic powers fail when he tries to release her by the use of his knowledge of the occult. However, he is permitted to visit Dorothy in the hut where she is held captive. While he is there, a native brings word that at a ceremony that night, her fate is to be decided according to jungle law. The present act opens that night before the ceremonial fire.
Chandu, the magician.
Will you permit me to be seated beside my sister?
You may sit beside her if you will hold your hands before you. So?
I agree. You have no objection if I talk with her, I suppose.
No, Sahib. But those who sit beside her will hear your words.
That's all right. Hello, Doc. Poor girl.
Oh, I'm all right, Frank. It's only when I think what might happen.
Don't, Dorothy. Nothing can happen tonight anyway. And every moment's delay means Robert's nearer the capital.
It's a picturesque sight anyway, isn't it? That fire in the center and those musicians over there with their faces painted.
That's the way to look at it. Remember, this will be just like a bad dream 2 months from now, when you're at home again.
Of course it will. How are the children?
They're all right.
Isn't it a shame Dr. Shaw can do nothing to help us? He's been here as many years as he says. I should think he'd have a great deal of influence with the natives.
He has. Or I would never be permitted to speak to you this way. I learned this evening he had made a strong plea to the chief of the village to have you paroled in his care. But they wouldn't agree to it. They're afraid that by some white man's method, you'll be spirited away beyond reach.
Oh, if there only were somewhere that I could be.
There will be, Dorothy. Something will have to happen so we can get you away from them.
You know, when you're safely at home and reading a magazine about these native rites and superstitions and all that, it sounds fascinating. You don't realize how terrifying it is to be at the mercy of their jungle code.
No. But remember, it works both ways. It was just an accident that knife trick of yours failed the other day in the temple.
Oh, Frank, look. Look over there toward the temple. There's a whole procession of them with their bodies painted and knives in their hands. They're coming over here.
It's just the regular ceremonial procession. It's that paint that makes them look so terrifying.
You don't suppose they'll take me back in that awful temple, do you? Oh, those leering idols and that awful green light that flickers on the altar. And that terrible image of the man with the cobra's head. Oh, I can't bear it, Frank. I can't bear it if they take me in there. I'll go mad.
Hush, they won't. They're going to have a whole ritual right out here. See? There's the man who's going to conduct it. Shaw told me this chap that's coming now is a very important man in the tribe. A sort of medicine man or witch doctor. He very rarely comes out of the jungle. He has a sort of hut in there where he's supposed to perform all sorts of incantations and cast spells and all that sort of thing.
Oh, I can't bear to think my life depends upon what that man might say. Isn't it dreadful? But I mustn't let them know I'm afraid, must I?
No. If they ask you any questions, try to tell them what happened as clearly as you can.
Will they ask you anything, do you suppose?
They may, of course, since I was in there when they dragged you away. And then, too, I saw the priest lying on the floor of the temple.
Oh, it just goes round and round in my head all the time. I can see it over and over. That man creeping toward me with that horrible knife, and then the next second he was lying on the floor.
I wish I could have got a chance to examine his body.
What do you mean, Frank?
You know what you're talking about. I want to tell you something. I daren't move or they'll think I'm trying to trick them. Can you hear me?
Yes, Frank. What is it?
I think that priest was killed by someone who was hiding there in the temple for that very purpose. I want to find out who it was if I can.
Is that why you said you'd like to have seen his body?
Yes. Don't you see, if he died from a knife wound or a poisoned dart, you couldn't possibly have killed him.
Oh, I see.
If they question me, I'm going to try to bring that out in the hope that whoever did it will give himself away. It must be someone right here in the tribe.
Oh, that's the first hopeful thing I've heard since they shut me up in that hut.
Look, we're ready to begin.
I speak in the tongue of the white man, my people, so that he who is accused may understand my words. When I have told you the story, the jungle god shall decide her fate. But first I draw about me the ring of fire, that the jungle god may enter in.
Frank, should I have told those guards about that knife in the temple?
What do you mean, Doc?
I mean, you know, I proposed that knife test to the priest in the temple that day to prolong the time I had, because I thought you might find me, find out where I was, and come and get me.
No. It's a good thing you didn't tell me that, because, don't you see, that would mean that the god had already decided against you.
Oh, of course. So they probably wouldn't even bother with this farce of a trial if they knew that.
Yes. But now that the priest is dead, it will never be known.
Oh, why is it you can't help me with your magic powers, Frank? I can't understand
I
it.
can't either.
The times are good, my people. And now I call upon the lords of the jungle to hear my word.
Oh, that cobra. He took it out of the basket and he's holding it right in his hand.
He'll put it down on the ground, you see, and leave it there until the trial is over.
Many centuries ago, a white man stole from the eye of an idol of the temple of Angkor the great emerald. This you know. The bandits have sought the emerald over the world, but have found it not. And now the jungle god has delivered us a white woman for sacrifice. She has entered the temple. She has seen what no white man should see. He has killed the chief priest of the jungle god.
Oh, Frank. They look at me as though they'd like to tear me to pieces. Look at their eyes glaring at me in the firelight. And their horrible shining bodies.
Don't let them know you're afraid. Heads up. That's it.
Does the white woman wish to speak?
Shall I, Frank?
Of course. Stand up, Doc.
You have searched my belongings since I have been a prisoner here, and you know I have not the emerald. And I tell you, I did not kill the priest. How he died, I do not know. But I swear to you, I did not kill him. Let my brother speak to you. He'll tell you I didn't kill the priest. He was there when... Oh, I didn't kill him. You've got to believe me. Why should I kill him? I only went to the temple to save my daughter. I thought she'd entered it by mistake. That's all I have to say.
Does the white man wish to speak?
Is it permitted that I see the body of the priest that my sister is accused of killing?
The body of the priest is sacred and not to be looked upon by white men.
How do you know some of your own people didn't kill him? Have you examined his body for poison darts or for knife wounds? You know my sister wouldn't carry a knife?
The body of the priest is gone.
You mean it's been burned?
It is not for you to question.
If you won't let me see the body, I ask that you examine it yourself. Remember, if the priest was killed by one of your own people, he is still here in the village, and others may die.
You have spoken, white man, and now the jungle god shall decide. Let the music begin. Please, Cobra, raise your head and say whether the white woman shall live or die.
Is that all they're going to do? Is that all we can do? Oh, what are they waiting for?
Don't you see? They're waiting to see what the snake is going to do. If he crawls across that stick, it
It
means...
means I'm to die. Is that it, Frank? Is it?
Look, my people, King Cobra has said it. The white woman shall not live. And the beast has risen and set twice 7 times, he shall die. And the vengeance of the jungle god be complete.
They're going away. Back to the temple. What did he mean? Did he mean 2 weeks? I'm to live 2 more weeks?
Yes. And in 2 weeks, Robert will have had time to come back from the capital and...
Oh, through the jungle?
Yes. He has a native guide, you know. Or I may be able to reach the yogi.
You mean to reach him mentally or... Oh, you're not going away to India. You're not going to leave me here alone, Frank.
I won't unless I... You better go with these fellows.
Am I to stay in his hut for 2 more weeks?
Dr. Shaw is still trying to see if he can't persuade them to let you stay over there at the inn. And he may find some way to do it.
Have you tried bribing them?
Yes. I told him to offer any amount. But they're so afraid of being spied on and caught accepting a bribe, they won't take money. Everyone watches the others. And then, of course, the man who really did kill the priest is here somewhere.
Oh, I'd better go before they take me away. I can't bear to have them touch me.
They won't if you go along with them. Good night, Dorothy.
Good night, Frank.
Don't give up hope. We'll get you out some way.
Good night.
Good night.
Can you hear me? Where are you? I'm just outside, in the back. I've made a little hole in the wall. I'm going to get you out of here. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not going to leave you there.
Bobby, you must go away. We can never leave the village, even if you did get me out of here. Please go away.
No, sir. I'm not going to. Got a hole in the wall. I'm going to take you right out of here tonight. If we have to swim the whole Pacific Ocean to get away, we'll do it. I'm not going to leave you in there any longer.
Bobby, they'll kill you if they get you out there.
No, they won't. Anyway, they're not going to catch me. I'm not going to leave you in there another night.